Right, hello boys and girls, how's it going? Today I'm just doing a quick scoring video, shall we say. I've got a competition on the weekend. It's an 18, or WA 18, but I am shooting at Portsmouth for a different two different competitions at Postals. So I'm just having some sighters. I'll have two ends of sighters, quite away from the camera here. Sorry for the echo. I'll have two ends of sighters, and yeah, we'll see what happens. The first end of the sighters is pretty good, so I'll take you down now. So what I'll do, each end I'll record, and then I'll show you the score, or where I've got to, so stick with me. Started hitting my nose again, and it's kind of annoying. I don't really know why. There's a pretty good first end of sighters that I've literally just set up. Could be better, to be honest. However, there's my first end. So we've got 10, 10, 10, 4 10s, 2 9s. I've gone to a lighter hook and a completely different form setup at the minute, which I'm practicing. I was down and basically having coaching with one of the England staff, one of the England development people. And so yeah, I'm just working on a few things at the minute whilst getting ready for competitions and stuff really. So might score them, don't know yet. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set up and then record a few ends. I'm not gonna put the full shoot in unless people want that. Let me know if they want me to put a full shoot in here and just edit it up. I don't know if people even watch that shit. So just gonna do, basically show you what I'm doing with my form and see how it goes. So I'll see you in a minute. So essentially what I'm doing is, beforehand, I was finding it quite difficult, because basically I'd come through and then I'd go up to my anchor and I'd come all the way across here, come back in and then go into my back tension. Now, basically I know that's not good, but I have had really bad shoulder problems, and I think that's just my body trying to cope with the movement. So what I've been doing is I've actually been using a really light hook recently, and I found that helps my release a lot, because that's another thing that I'm working on. So I'll come down to crawl, and I will come up. See, my crawl for 20 metres or 18 metres or 20 yards is down here. I'll come all the way down, set my fingers up, and literally right on the end of the tab like this. And that sets my hand up in a really nice position to be able to keep my wrist nice and taut throughout the whole of coming up, get to my chin, and once I've come up to my chin, I will then use my body. So you set up your chest, you open up your chest for the first part of the draw, and then comes the back tension. So it's essentially, it's up, come to my chest, and then the rest is just this shoulder coming across and coming in. If I do it right, I don't get much pain. If I don't do it right, I get quite a bit. So it's just fine tuning that in a minute. Like I said, I've got competitions coming up, so I can't really focus too much on it. I need to be able to shoot decently. So hence why we practice. So yeah. You also have to excuse the audio because I haven't got a microphone or anything. So. Another thing that I'm trying to consciously work on is, instead of sort of coming around so much with my back, is kind of coming up more narrowly, come across, and then use my back and my scapula to pull in. And also remember to push with my hand with this hand, because if I don't fully commit to the shot, they go low. And I'll show you in a minute, because I'm going to take these two ends as sighters, I think. But the first two went very low. The last two, where I consciously push forward with this hand and this arm and snapped kind of thing, they've gone bang in the 10 next to each other. So I'll show you that in a minute. And again, same thing, they've all got in a nice group. Just remembering for everything to come together, because when you change your form, you should really only change one thing at a time, leave that for a while. However, with changing so much of my form, I need to rework a lot of it, which is fair, which I'm willing to do. This is why I'm here. But it's all about a process for me at the minute. It's about setting up, nice and relaxed, find my crawl, set my shoulder, come up, get to my chin, open my chest up, and then come all the way around. Hold, anchor, release and push. So I'll show you where these guys went now. First two shots weren't great. They might still be in, I don't know. No, they're not, I can see them there. But the other 4 shots after that all went pretty much where I want them, so we'll just have a look at that now. So as you can see, those were the first 2. They were way out. Then this guy, and then those 3 here. And they've all gone in a nice group. So it is just keeping that consistent push. Right, it's going well. A lot better than I expected, to be honest. It feels like my form is coming back into play now, and also one of the best changes that I did was taking 20 grains out of my points. Big stone. This was my latest end. So you're not doing too badly, to be honest. You know, I'm happy with this. There are a few awry shots that shouldn't be happening, because if that was on an 18 face, they would be not good enough, basically. But for now, we'll keep going. And yeah, look at my nose. Big red nose, fucking hell. One thing that I am needing to work on, honestly, is coming down when I know there's a bad shot coming. I mean, like I said, none of these have been particularly very bad. It's just, you know, when I can feel that I'm not in the right position, I still sometimes take the shot. And sometimes it works, sometimes it's great. But I definitely need to work on coming back down again. At full draw, things just don't really feel good. But it's beneficial to shoot a bad shot so you know what's going to happen and to reinforce what a bad shot feels like. But when you get to a point, you need to be able to just be able to come down. Still a 10. They're all going to slightly left of 10 today. Again, I think that was a 10, just to the left. I've not grouped like this in a while, and I think that clipping my points down from 140 grade to 120 has really helped this out. Didn't really feel right, that one. Sounds a bit silly, but my glasses were in the wrong place. Again, just off to the left. There you go. Basically, they're all in the goal, but they're all to the left of the 10 ring, which is very weird. It's been the trend for today. If you look at the trend, really, there's been a few over this side, but weird. Anyway, it's something to work on. Hello. So, very similar story to last time, but I think I'm picking things up again. In terms of score, at least, I got 58 out of that one. Again, they're all going to the left, but I managed to bring them very, very slightly in. I think I know the problem. The problem is this hand basically, where if I don't just let the bow rest in my hand and push against a certain part of my palm, it doesn't go where I want it to, and also my release as well. I'm so busy concentrating on the setting up that my release has kind of gone out a bit AWOL, which that'll come in time. If I'm getting stuff like that now, you know, I can deal with that for a competition. I can work on my release another time. But for now, yeah, it's going all right. Right, so I'm getting there. It's going all right. The groups have definitely opened up as I'm getting more tired. My shoulders start to hurt, and I'm really overthinking things at the minute. I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, what was I doing last time when it was going well? What was I doing? I'm just trying to clear my head and just not think about it, you know, because I've got a bit of a whirlwind in my head at the moment, so. Off to the left again. Again to the left. Bit low. Just in the wrong place. I think it's this hand. I don't think I'm setting up my structure strong enough so that when I'm pushing, it's kind of either doing that or I'm not sort of pushing forward. So, I mean, I'll take you down again. So the group is okay. It's just in the wrong, place. This is what it is. We'll keep going. Right, so one thing that I don't usually do is I don't usually look at my scores when I shoot because, again, I don't want, part of my mental game is I don't want that to get into my head because if you start thinking about score all the time, for me, it kicks you out of things. So I've just looked at my score, and I could be on for a record here and another club record. My aim was to reach 570 this year. That was a goal that I set myself. I want to get to 570. The way this is going, if I don't cut this last 6 hours up, could be all right. But now that I've said that, because every single scoring arrow has been in the gold. So I'm very happy with that. You know, like I said, there's so much more to improve on. Like if those groups that I've been getting could just have moved up into the 10 for me, I would be on a really, really good score right now. I mean, you know, I think even if I come out of this, the score that I'm going to get is going to be half decent. So this is my last end of scoring. Let's go. Right, wish me luck. I said to myself midway through that shot, don't shoot it in the 8, don't shoot it in the 8. And it's a 10. It's definitely this hand and the way that I bring it up. And my waist, my core, and the way that I set it up, it's definitely that because they just pulled in. It's another 10, sort of 11 o'clock-ish in the 10. Yep, I've worked out the problem. It's my waist and my arm. Basically, if I don't rotate my hips, my waist to come in line with my shoulder is out of kink with the rest of my skeletal structure. And therefore it's kicking things out when I shoot. I think I found the problem there. So, note to self, part of the setup process, when I'm setting up my shoulder, set my hips as well, or when I come around. So if my hips are facing that way, it bumps my shoulder back out this way. If I put my hips in line over there, it stops my shoulder from moving backwards, and it gives it a lot more strength as well, which is really good. Okay. Now that was a poor release. Ooh, just out the 10 on the right. So it's definitely the shoulder because they've come right in that. Release on that wasn't very good, but I think it might have been a 10, I don't know. We shall go and have a look. Right, so that last arrow, well, the third to last arrow was very close to being a red. I did not release properly at all. I mean, to be fair, I've not really been releasing great all day, but it's just in. It's just in, but also we have enough 10s. We have enough 10s there that even if that was an 8, which it isn't, which means that I've scored an all-gold Portsmouth, which I think is a first for me. I'm not too sure. So yeah, there we go. I've scored that. We'll see what I've scored. We'll come back, bit of analysis, and yeah. I think another record there. Let's have a look. Right, so unfortunately, in the end, although this is a clean sheet, except from the, wrong way, these two which were part of the sighting rounds, everything was in the gold. I was 2 points off my goal of 270. I got 268, which I think is a club record. I'm not too sure. However, the thing that got me there basically was working out what's going on with my shoulder. If I'd have been able to, there's a lot, if you have a look there, there's a lot of 9s all on this left hand side here. God, it's difficult to do, reverse. But basically over here, there was a lot of 9s. As I started to correct my shoulder, things came over, and then things started to settle down. It started off bang in the middle, then it went off to the left. Everything started going off to the left, and you can see the majority of the group is at the left. And then as I started to bring things over, they started to come to the right a little bit, and this is where I started basically. So basically, what I've taken out of this shoot, this is the main thing I wanted to do here, what I've taken out of this shoot is, when you start to overthink things, go back to complete basics. Even if you have to have a 5-10 minute break, go back to basics. Just go up, do your shot. If you start to feel things going out a bit of whack, like I said, like my arm was shaking and I was kind of, not bunching up, but I just felt like my arm was kind of doing this as I released. That insinuates that the problem would then be something to do with this arm, and I thought it was my push. Now it wasn't my push. I got a fairly relaxed hand when I pushed forward. The issue was my waist and my hips. So I wasn't, when I was set up, I was facing the target, kind of like this. So I'd come up and then come around and look what my shoulder is doing. It doesn't come around half enough. If I set up like this, come up, I can then properly set my arm into alignment, and Bob's your uncle. So if I'd have done that, now that I know that, something I can work on, hopefully we'll be able to get the 570 next time. But yeah, this is what this is for. Hopefully this has been interesting. Thank you so much for watching. One thing I do want to note is I do not need any coaches. Thank you very much. I'm working on my own stuff. A lot of people on the videos and on Instagram and social media and stuff have been trying to tell me how to shoot. And it's been very annoying, basically. I like to work on my own stuff in my own time. And I've done that since the beginning of my archery. I've never really been coached. The only time I've been coached was last week by one of the England development squad, Nat in the England development squad. And she's helped me to do, God, that's difficult, to do more of this kind of stuff. So I'm going to go into W18 now, but that's me. Thank you so much for watching. See you very, very soon, I'm sure. And until the next time, boys and girls, broke shaft out. I'll see you soon. Hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye. Whee!